All right, let's go ahead and go over Unit 3, quiz number 2. This is Ms. Marion. And so let's kind of talk about the different questions. All right, here is number 1. On number 1, it says a shorter style of cups is stacked. The graph displays the height of the stack in centimeters for different numbers of cups. How much does each cup after the first add to the height of the stack? So after we put the cup down, how much will each cup add on there? So what we're doing is we're really looking for the slope. So if we kind of did a slope triangle kind of thing here, and remember we want to go ahead and subtract off our y's. So we're going to get 8 minus 5.5 all over. Subtract off our x's, 8 minus 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and do 8 minus 5.5. Well, that answer is 2.5. 8 minus 3, that is 3. Excuse me, that is 5. So 2.5 divided by 5, it will be 0.5. So that is one of the answers I would have taken, or I would have taken 1 over 2. Here is number 2. We want to go ahead and we want to find, so it says the graph that shows savings in Andre's account. What is the slope of this line? So remember, we want to go ahead and pick 2 points. Sorry, I'm trying to get my pen to work. So we're going to pick 2 points on here. We're going to do our vertical and our horizontal. But please watch and look. The scale on here, this is 40, this is 60. So how do we go from 40 to 60? Well, that's 20, or kind of like what we just barely did, we can do 60 minus 40, and we can get 20 as our vertical. And then notice how on the bottom, it does go from 0 to 4. So the bottom part is 4. So remember our slope is our vertical over horizontal, which is 20 divided by 4. But we need to go ahead and reduce this down. So we can reduce down to 5. For some reason, Canvas did not take the 5 over 1. I did go back and give those points back. So if you notice that your grade changed, is because I was looking at those. So you can either have 5 or you can have 5 over 1. Here is number 3. The graph shows the savings of Andre's bank account. What is the meaning of the slope in this situation? So remember, so this kind of comes from the stuff that's before. We have 5 over 1. Again, it's our vertical over our horizontal. So how is our vertical, how is that labeled? Well, that's 5, and then it is dollars. And then the bottom is our horizontal, and that is time in weeks. So what do we need to label our 1 is weeks. So it takes $5. It's $5 per 1 week that Andre actually puts into his account. So Andre saves $5 every week. Here is number 4. Which linear relationship meets the following requirements? Has a slope of 3, is not proportional relationship. So it is not a proportional relationship, so it does not go through 0, 0. So now we need to figure out where the slope on all of these, if there's 3. So remember, we're going to go ahead and pick 2 points off of that line. So we have here and here. Here's my slope triangle. This is 1, and then we have 3. This slope is vertical over horizontal, and that's 1 over 3. Okay, so not D. Let's pick another point. Let's look at B. So I'm going to pick this point and this point on B. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6, 2. So slope B, vertical, which is 6 over 2. Divided out, that does equal 3. Okay. And let's just make sure with line C. Again, I'm going to pick 2 points. Oh, but line C actually goes through 0, 0. Okay, so that's not going to work. Let's look at line A. Well, line A is going down the hill. So that makes it so that the slope is negative, but they want it as a positive. So A is not going to work either because that's supposed to be a negative slope. So what's the answer to here? It is line B. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to write equations for the lines. And so we were kind of talking about slopes from the last one. And we looked at D. D had a slope of 1 over 3. Okay, so we picked 2 points, found our slope triangle. We have 1 over 3. Okay, and then where does this start? So it's 1, 2, 3. So it starts at 3. So D is y equals 1 over 3x and then plus 3. Because remember, our equation is slope sitting by x plus kind of like our start. Also, it's a y-intercept, vertical intercept kind of thing at the end. Let's look at B. So B, where does it start? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it starts at 4. And again, we found out the slope for B was 3, because we had this slope triangle. So we had 2, and then we had 6. So our slope was 3, and it starts at 4. So we're going to have it as y equals 3x plus 4. Let's look at C. So C starts at 0, 0. And then let's go ahead and let's pick another point. Here, I'm going to pick this point right here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. Okay, so then our slope will be 6 over 2, which is 3. So put it together, we have y equals 3x plus and then 0. And remember, mathematicians don't like to write down the zeros or ones or zeros. So it's really going to be y equals 3x. So that's line C. All right, I went ahead and erased some different stuff so we can actually see line A. So line A, it starts at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we need to go ahead and make our slope triangle. So I'm going to pick this point and this point. So we have 3 and we have 1. So the slope for line A is 3 over 1, but because it's going down the hill, it's going to make a negative slope. So put that together, we have y equals negative 3x, and then where did it went ahead and start? It started right up here, okay? Started at 11. So let's go ahead and let's go through number 6. Number 6 has 2 equations. The 2 equations we're looking for is y equals 2x, well, not looking for, and y equals 2x minus 7. So we're looking for things that are the same between the two. Remember that our equations are y equals our slope sitting by our x and then plus our start or our y-intercept or our vertical intercept. And so do these have the same slope? They do. And the slope for both of these is 2. So they have the same slope. Slope is 2. This is kind of like the Diego question where we had Diego, he had 0 amount in his money, and then he made $10 per hour. And so it was y equals 10x. And then he made $30, and he had $30 in his account. Then he made $10 per hour. So that was y equals 10x plus 30. That was one of the activities we did in our workbook. Same kind of thing. Remember, when we graphed those lines were parallel. So this one will also be parallel. Are they in the same location? If you graph the 2 lines, will they be exactly in the same location on the graph? No. Are they the y-axis across the y-axis at the same time? This one crosses at 0. That's a proportional relationship. This one crosses at negative 7. Do they cross at the same place? No. So if they do not cross at the same place on the y-axis, they will not cross at the same place on the x-axis. So the only 3 answers for number 6 is they have the same slope. They both have a slope of 2, and then they are parallel. Hopefully this video helps you with quiz number 2. You have until next Monday to go ahead, Monday at 3 to retake this quiz. So that is November the 16th until 3 o'clock to go ahead and retake this quiz.